Hi, welcome back to Nessa's Nook. I have a video kind of like on this, but I realized when I was watching it the other day because I was telling somebody about it that I really did a big disservice on the video because I really didn't explain very well. I was so far away, no one could hear me. Maybe I wasn't talking as loud back then either. I don't know, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'll piece this together once it's all done. But I'll go ahead and explain to you what I did to get it this far, and then I'll show you what I'm doing here. So I'll bring you down here. You've heard me say multiple times that I make my own yogurt. So what happens is I have a 6-quart Instapot. My jars are pinging from canning earlier, and we made this up yesterday. I don't know if you can see how thick that is. So there's always going to be some whey in there, and we like our yogurt actually a lot thicker. So that's what I'm going to show you on this other. So what happens on this is you put the milk in here. This is about 1.25 gallons of milk. I wasn't too successful with the 2%. But I bought some of the Chobani, I'll write that down, whatever it's called. And it actually made this work pretty good for 2% because every time I did the 2%, I ruined the milk. So you warm this up, and it needs to go up to like 180 degrees. You cool it back down. I put mine down to like about 80 to 100 degrees, about 90 to 80, 90 degrees. It seemed like the cooler the better for me. And then what happens is then you put it on the yogurt setting and you let this set. Once the starter is in here, you have to put an active starter in here. Usually activia or that Chobani or however you pronounce that. And because in order to make the yogurt you need the live cultures. So we did that. We put that in there. We stirred that in, and then we let that set overnight. My husband got up this morning, and usually it's 8 hours. He got up this morning and pulled it out of the Instapot and put it in the fridge. And I thought, okay, well, I'll see if it's actually thick or not, because the longer you have it in the refrigerator after doing this, the thicker it comes. So what I'm going to do, I'm in the middle of canning some stuff here too. So this here, I don't know for sure if you can see this. This is like a mesh metal strainer type thing, and it has like a bucket and it has a lid. So what I do is I will pour the yogurt in, and what happens is I bought this bigger one. I still have the smaller one that's out in my shed, but I buy the bigger ones because I do over the gallon of milk, and I was using 2 of the smaller ones. I just realized I just blocked the camera for that whole thing. So what's going to happen is, I don't know for sure if you can see, I'll lower this down even more. I don't know for sure if you can see, I might have to pull this out. I don't know if you can see down here. This is already starting to drip through some of the whey, okay? And because this is like overfilled, I'm gonna have to leave this on the counter for about like 10 minutes, and then this is gonna go down enough for me to go ahead and put the lid on. Then I'll go ahead and put the lid on, and then we will set that in the refrigerator till at least tomorrow, if not longer. And I usually like to set it on there for a minimum of a day, because it seems like the longer you let that set through, the thicker this is. Now we like ours, like I said, we like ours thicker. So when we get done with this, I'll show you the video on that. But what we do is I pour out the whey in here. I don't use it for anything. I need to figure out a way to use it so it's not so wasteful. But I pour the yogurt back in here. I put like a cup of sugar, some vanilla, and I usually use some sort of pie filling. Now, yesterday we did up some peach pie filling from some of the peaches from our tree, and I'm not for sure. I'll ask my husband. Excuse me, because we have cherry from the store, we have peach that I did, blueberry that I did, and strawberry that I did of pie filling. You can use regular fresh fruit, but if I don't have any fresh fruit, we just go ahead and just do the pie filling, which works out good, and you just swirl that in there. You'll see that tomorrow. So I'll go ahead and shut this off for right now, and I'll bring this back tomorrow when this is actually ready to get jarred up. Okay, we're finishing up the yogurt video. I don't know for sure if you can see right here. This is the whey. And you can see how the whey even kind of like came up here a little bit. And when you open this up, see how much of that has disappeared from yesterday's video. It's still there, but it's just thicker and condensed. But when I stir it up, it'll be back. And I'll show you once I dump this whey real quick. Alright, all you have to do is pretty much tap this, and it'll get out any of the yogurt that's left in there. And you can scrape some of the sides and get some of that left over. Put that in the sink. Now normally what I do is I stir this up, and you can see how nice and thick that is. I stir this up a little bit, and this is the time, if I were using my own yogurt here for a starter, once I stir this up is when I would be pulling this out a container to use for the next batch of yogurt. But I'm not doing that today because I still have some other yogurt that I have to use up for starters. And put like 1 cup of sugar. Sugar, the vanilla is definitely optional. It's just something we enjoy. People say it kind of tastes a little bit like cupcakes. I'm not sure if that's necessarily true, but. And like I said, I don't really measure anything. We've just been doing this for a while. I know about how much to put in there. And then what I think I'm going to do, because I haven't been eating the yogurt, because I can't eat the granola. Well, I probably could eat the granola. I'm really afraid to eat the granola, so I just don't. And stir that all in. And then what I'm going to do is, because my husband prefers the blueberry, I'm going to go ahead and do a thing on my blueberry pie filling. Alright, and what we've been doing is, because we ran out of yogurt, my husband opened up a can of the blueberry pie filling, because I think that's really his favorite. And he's been making the yogurt starter that we have back there into the flavored yogurt that he prefers. So that's what that first one was. And this, of course, is my canned blueberries. We canned 40 pounds of blueberries this year. And I will use it for the yogurt filling and maybe a blueberry pie. I doubt it. I need to make a pie. I just need to get over my fear of making a pie. And then there's those dump cakes, and that's probably where the quarts will probably be used. There's always one berry that seems like it gets caught in there. And then what I do, usually Mark is here to help me, but he's still at work tonight, is I take my container and my funnel, and I just funnel this in. And then we just go from the container to the container. Now that can go, just have a little bit more. Now I do like to do this versus, I prefer glass over plastic. Obviously the lids have to be plastic. But this way, I'm reusing these jars, so you don't have to worry about things more landing in the landfill. Instead of like all those little itsy bitsy yogurt containers, you're using the same yogurt containers over and over and over and over. Now I have 9 containers out here. That was all I could fit in my arms. I know there'll be more than that. And then all I gotta do is lid these up, and I will bring you back when I do that. Okay, they're all jarred up here. And this one is not all the way full. And I got a total of, I didn't count these before I turned back on the camera. 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14, 14 and a half 8-ounce jars. Now, granted, okay, so milk is a little bit more expensive than what it used to be when I first started doing this, because you could get milk back then for like $1.25 a gallon. But even at the $3 a gallon that it is, I'll do the calculations and I'll put that down in there of how much each one cost. Now, obviously, this is not organic milk. This is not organic stuff. You know, obviously you're going to pay more for organic. But, you know, that saves a lot of money. And like I said, you don't have containers going to the landfill. And you can choose what kind of flavor you like in it. Our one exchange daughter did not like the sugar or the vanilla in hers, so we didn't put that in hers when we used to make it when they were here. And you can make it so it doesn't have vanilla. You can make it so it doesn't have sugar. You can put honey in it. You can, some people put even like that maple syrup or whatever, or what kind of sugars that you would want to sweeten this. To me, like I said, it tastes more kind of like, I don't know, like a cupcake. I'm not really for sure. But the store-bought ones are like sour, and that's why I never like to eat them. But this way, I have a little bit of control in there. Usually we use 1 can of pie filling when we do this. So I will calculate out the price and I'll put this all together. But this is quite a few breakfast for my husband. Like I said, it's 14 and a half. He'll probably eat this one tonight. So 14 of them. You know, so that's going to last 2 weeks. And it does last a full 2 weeks before it goes bad, so that's a good thing. And like I said, we can choose the flavors, we can choose what goes in here. And like I said, it was a lot cheaper, obviously, when you use your own starter. It is more expensive the first time you make it because you have to actually buy the starter and do that, buy the milk. You don't have to have an Instapot. I do mine in my Instapot. A lot of people do not have it in the Instapot. You can actually boil the water or boil the milk like in the microwave, which I don't like the microwave, but you can boil it on your stove to 180 degrees. You can let it set in your stove, you know, let it cool down. You can add your active culture yogurt at that time, stir it up, and then what some people do is they will take and put it in their oven, you know, put a container that doesn't that won't spill, and what they'll do is, you know, they'll turn on their oven light, and that's about 100 degrees. Some people will use their dehydrators because a dehydrator will go down to 100 degrees. Whatever can get you to about 100 degrees, and then you have it on for at least 8 hours. And, you know, sometimes it's really nice and thick, and sometimes it's not. We like ours to be thicker, so that's why we use the strainer. So definitely, you don't have to have all the gadgets that I have. I'm just a gadget girl. I've always liked gadgets, and that's just what I do. So, but it is definitely easier if you do have the Instapot, or if your electric pressure canner cooker has a yogurt function. If not, like I said, you could do everything by hand. You could do it in your stove. You could do wherever it's 100 degrees. Some places, that's where they live, is 100 degrees without the air conditioning on. So definitely look into doing that yourself. It's very, very easy. You're welcome to ask any questions down below. I know I have a lot of subscribers now, and I'm very thankful for that. However, I don't know why nobody ever really talks to me. And it's like, you know, I would like to have conversations with you guys also on this when you do watch my videos, or if you have suggestions of what you would like me to make, or things that you want to see with the things I have, or just make certain things. So definitely keep that in mind too, because I would like to be able to, you know, talk with you guys. I mean, it's not like you're here in my kitchen, and it's not like I can, you know, sit here and show you how to make things, but If there's something you know you want to make and I know how to make it, or if I don't, I can research it and try to make it, I'll do that. So thank you for stopping by. You have a very blessed and wonderful day.